there's been a big shift inside me, and that's what I really wanted to come on and share. And it's quite an emotional shift. So through my yoga teachings, there's a saying that you can't be a victim and a liberated being at the same time. So whatever I've gone through in my life, I've always took the hand of not wanting to be a victim in any circumstances. So I've, through my 50 years, which for some of you might be really old, but I don't feel really old. So in that 50 years of my life, I've always decided that if it's my dyslexia, any kind of abuse or any kind of bullying that I've gone through, that I'm never going to be a victim of that. It's never going to define who I am. But with Stargardt's disease, I've had to accept the diagnosis, and I've had to become friends with my Stargardt's disease. And because it's slowly progressing, everyone's like, well, you know, that must be, you know, so much better. You know, you can learn to accept it. But what you're accepting is every week something's changing. So I've had to accept that and kind of become friends with the disease. I've had to accept that I'm a blind person living in a sighted world. And because my disease has happened later on in my life, and I've always been a sighted person living in a sighted world, this is a really big change for me. And it's kind of quite a scary change as well. It's something that I feel quite emotional about, that my world has changed completely. And for people that have been born with sight loss, or it's happened earlier in their life, they've accepted that earlier. And this is something that I've just had to really come to terms with. Now I'm using my cane, now my vision has got worse, that I am a severely visually impaired person, or a blind person living in this sighted world. And I'm finding that I'm suddenly apologising for that. For example, you know, when I get out of the car and people look at me, and then I feel that I have to quickly get my cane out, or so I'm like, oh, it's okay if, you know, and maybe no one's looking at me because obviously I can't see them, but it's like I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry, I'm blind. Oh, you know, could you help me? Sorry, I'm blind. I'm like, why am I making excuses for this? Because obviously people say to me, oh, but you don't look blind. That's what I get all the time. Oh, but you don't look blind. So I have to accept that the world isn't going to change for me. 100%, I get that. I really get that. I'm not expecting the world to change for me. But what I am hoping for is kindness and understanding. And the more I campaign with my community behind me, I don't want two separate communities. I want my yoga community and my visually impaired community, or my severely visually impaired community, to be together, not two separate things. And that's what's upsetting me.